Hello, my name is Leonard.
Hello, I'm Jesper.
Hi, my name is Steffan Jørgensen, and I'm from the band Gwænno.
Hello and welcome to Dynaudio's Unheard. My name is Christopher and I'm your host. With me I have Gwænno today. They have a poetic urban pop sound that's honest, filled with love and depth. Guys, you've just played in the Unheard studio, just come out. How was the experience?
It was very nice. First of all, because when you record stuff, you're usually in the safe zone of your own space. And now we had to do it like in this open container. So you can definitely feel the difference between performing live and recording live. Because when we do live sessions, there's only us there. So yeah, it was a cool mixture between a gig and a recording session.
Yeah, and at some point I saw that the audience was just like completely up on you guys, right?
Yeah.
They were feeling it.
It was very it was terrifying actually. But still very nice.
A little bit closer than when you're on stage, right?
Yeah.
It was really close.
You really know how animals feel in zoo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steffan, we spoke before we got down here a little bit for an article that I wrote.
Yeah.
And one of the things that we talked a little bit about was your childhood and the musical environment that you grew up in. And you told me that your dad had 1,700 CDs.
Yeah.
And I think it was everything from Nora Jones to
Napalm Death.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How has that diversity influenced the music that you guys create?
It has had a huge impact on the way that I write music and in the way I play music and also when these guys come on when we play live.
Yeah.
Leonard and Jesper is the live band, and I write the music. But yeah, it has had a very big impact because, you know, like I said, it's everything from very soft music to very hard music.
Mm-hmm.
It's old death row West Coast rap. It's Mew. It's Nick Cave. It's grindcore. It's everything.
Yeah.
So I've been inspired by everything from '90s Mariah Carey to The Good Life by Kashmir and a lot of impact. And when I started to play music, it was like it revolved around Nirvana and a little more hard music, but I just needed to combine melodic with the hard.
Mm.
And I think you should allow yourself to be soft, because many musicians, I don't know, maybe a tiny bit afraid of showing those feelings.
Yeah.
But if in the right package, they are not as corny as, yeah.
But how does that, Steffan and Leonard and Jesper, how does that get expressed when you're in the studio here, trying to combine all of these emotions? What is it that comes to the surface?
I don't know, because for this session right here, we took some numbers and we dialed them down.
Okay.
So the expression you saw here today will not be the same expression that you will see on live cam tomorrow. There it's more, it gets a stadium sound. It gets pushed out. And here it's very down to earth. But we got that element of just a pop song with a hook and a clear hook and a clear verse. And then we got like this sort of wet sound from the push controller and the keys, and the trap urban sound from the drum pad. And then we get the pop song from my voice and the guitar. And those three combined, it's a very easy digestible, but also tastes good. Yeah.
Leonard, when you join up with Steffan and have to go out and do a live performance, how do you tap into Steffan's energy?
I remembered it as I had to put guitar on his music, and there was no guitar on his music, so it was not easy, but again, it was a layer that not existed. So I really don't know, but as we are now, it's very different as it was in 2016 when we just started. So we are just evolved to where we are now together.
Yeah.
Steffan is writing the music and we're just a live band, but again we evolved in this live scene together. So yeah.
And
I think that's the
one of
answer.
the things that I read before we got here to Smukfest was a review of your performance at Jelling Festivalen.
Yeah.
We really got a lot of praise for the feeling that you give as a live band. I think that one of the sentences was like, you have this mix between like the really upbeat happiness, and you can just change like that into something that's melancholic, that brings out some sadness in the song. How do you go about making such a change in one song or even in a live performance?
It's a bit funny because I don't know who it was, but there was a guy come over to us and said, "You can really dance to this because it's every song is half tempo, or what you call it. We don't have any upbeat songs. You can go and just dance to it, but again, you feel the punch, and I think it's very important for us that when Steffan or Gwænno sits in the studio, he makes this music and have this punch when you hear it in your headphones, and we want to give that feeling too when we are on the live stage. So it's about we are only 3 on stage, so we have a lot of space that we can use. So we don't what you call it. I don't know, but we have a lot of space when we are just 3 people.
Yeah.
So Jesper can smash his drums, and I can play very, very loud guitars. So.
Okay, my next question is more with, when do you know that you have a good song or good track or?
A lot of things comes into play when talking about a good song, because a good song can handle being cut down to that setup we had in there, and a good song can handle get pumped up to what we will do upstage. A good song, I don't know. It's when actually the best way to see if you have a great song is if people tell you have a great song.
But I guess that you must have I at least imagine that when you're in the studio, you come up with 10,000 ideas, right?
Yeah.
And at some point, one of these ideas will just make you go, shit, there it is.
Yes, exactly. And that's how it is. Because you go about making your loops and you're writing your lyrics and then you get that. Okay, this is the song. And the lyric kind of writes itself. You don't have to force it out. That's how I know it's a good song. It's when the lyric comes natural. But also taking the song to the rehearsal room and playing with drums and guitar, and you can instantly hear if it's a good song.
But how do the two of you come into play when you then go into the rehearsing room and try and add to this feeling of a good song that is about to be created?
For me, we're now tomorrow we're gonna play a new song for the first time, and when we're rehearsing that, when I start rehearsing for myself, and then I get in mind how I want it to sound on stage, with as little as possible from the original track. But the drums, the kick is there, but the sound is bigger, and the fills.
Yeah.
So I don't know how, but for me it's just important to set my mark and make it even better. And with the latest song here, I really get this feeling of looking forward to play it, because I think it's very very good, and just really want people to hear what Gwænno can do and what we are able to do, add to the track also.
I mean, that has to be what you're going for, right? Having that excitement of, oh, we're gonna play something new tomorrow, right? That's what you're aiming for.
Yeah, but to add something to what Jesper says about what we're going to do when we have a new song that Steffan has come with, it's very different if it's a spacey song and it's very big, and it's much easier to fill in the parts and just jam it out. But today we rehearsed a new song we're gonna play tomorrow here at Smukfest. It's a bit more tight, and it's very difficult to get the same energy in a tight song on stage, because you have to just make it sound as big as it is on the track, and that can be a bit difficult when you...
How do you go about that then? Is there any kind of technique that you know you can go to add that, or is it just it comes as you rehearse?
My technique as a guitarist is to maybe keep it simple, but not sound too much in the sound universe we have in that song. But it's very difficult. We have to take a decision. Are we going to make this song louder than it is on the original track, or are we going to strip it a bit down, or what are we going to do at live? Because we are using backtracks, so we are very locked in what we can do, in the arrangement of the song. So yeah, it's very different.
Okay, guys. One of the things that I know Steffan does a lot is to kind of disappear in the studio, spending hours and hours listening to songs, finding inspiration. Steffan, if you could start out by talking a little bit about that.
Okay, I have a side job as a substitute teacher, and I work that job for like 2 weeks at a time, and then the rest of the time it's music. So my day starts like this. I wake up at around 7 because I've gotten older. I don't sleep any longer than that. And then I go up to the town center, like mall, get a cup of coffee from the baker up there, drink that, go to the studio, and then I sit there. And it's inside a building, so there's no windows. I can't. It's only the time on my computer that kind of shows
Let you know what time of day it is.
Exactly. And then I just sit there. Sometimes I don't do anything. I maybe just go on YouTube and check out new plugins and just nerd out techniques. Or I'll just make a loop at the beginning of the day, and I will listen to that the whole day, just writing stuff and putting things on, taking things off. And then 8 hours goes by, and I'm a happy man.
Yeah.
And nothing comes out of that necessarily, but most of the times it's just for my pleasure. And that's just how the project got started, because I had a lot of things that I've started with doing as my own pleasure. And then I noticed, okay, there's actually songs here that I think are good enough for all of these people to hear. Yeah. And it just needed something organic other than me, because Gwænno is a lot of it's kind of croonerish. It's very much about the voice and the vocals. It's very much on top of the mix. So it just combines very good, and both Leonard and Jesper comes from a rock band background. So we get this very, very unique mixture of urban studio-made music combined with grandiose drum fills and big spacious guitars, and my suffering vocal on top. So yeah, it's just perfect. And yeah, I can. That's what I want to do. That's what I do. That's where I'm happy. You know, I'm happy being at home with my girlfriend too, and doing normal stuff, and go to work. But deep down, I know what I want to do, and that's the thing. So as long as I can get things to go around, and pay my rent and stuff, because music is, you know, sometimes you earn sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
And but as long as I get to do that, then I'm very happy. And as long as I get to do that, there will be more songs for the people and for myself, because mostly the songs are for myself. I like to just go listen to my own songs. Sometimes I can go a week where I haven't heard anyone else but my own stuff, because I go and you know, visualize stuff and dream about stuff, being on that stage, playing that song, you know, singing that song to people.
Is there an element of it that's kind of therapeutic?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I've always been like, it's better now, but I've been a bit quick-tempered and restless, and school was not very good for me. Of course, it was good for me because then I wouldn't be able to speak English with you. But the thing about being in one place for a long time, other than the studio, that's not, I'm not very good at that.
No.
So I think that's both a curse and a blessing. But
So it's kind of your happy place where you can
Yeah,
go
yeah.
and actually find that one place where you can be.
exactly. I don't have to. You know, it's me. So I do what I want to do, and I just love it. And look where it has gotten us, at Chesterfield couch on
Yes,
on Smukfest. So
that's not a bad place to be, right?
no.
And it is a good Chesterfield. I mean, it's very
Yeah, it's
comfortable.
very good. It's very good.
Guys, my final question before I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah.
If you had to go back all the way to 2016 when Gwænno, the project, got started, and you could give yourselves one piece of advice, something you've picked up over the last 2 years, what would that piece of advice be?
Can we both give an advice?
Yes, yes.
People feel like okay.
Please.
Yes. Okay. My thing is, you know, the music life it goes like this: uphill, downhill, and I feel like quitting at least once a week. And the most important thing is never quit,
Yeah.
because you get those highs and you get those lows. And I look at people who says I don't want to make music anymore because I didn't get that. But as long as you keep on going and you evolve, that you become better and you practice, then you can do what you want, because then it will be good at some point. So that's my advice for myself.
Yeah, I think I've grown a lot since 2016, and I would say to myself that fuck the music business.
How come?
I'm coming to a part now where I'm just like, it's all about the music. 2 years ago, I was really about, okay, we got to do this because then we can talk to this people, and there's a big festival in Aarhus every year called Spot Festival, where the new artist is going. And I remember myself that I was at a party where everybody goes, and I was like, oh, I have to talk to this guy and this guy. That might help me in the music business, but it's really not.
No.
It's all about the music, and maybe one day people will love to hear our music, and there will come more people to the stage. And
Who knows, you guys might be one good performance from opening Smukfest, right?
yeah,
Exactly. You never know.
yeah.
That's the thing.
So, yeah, that's my advice.
I'm thinking, but I really don't know what I'll do right now. I probably have something, but mostly I would say rehearse. No, not rehearse. What are you calling it? Practice, yeah. Practice more.
Get better.
Take
every
more
day.
time out to practice. Not only at being good at playing drums for Gwænno, but also being good at just playing drums.
Jesper's a really good drummer, so yeah. So I think, and he hears that a lot of times. So it's not that he needs to rehearse, but
Modesty.
But still,
right?
yeah, I easily could do more if I want to, but yeah, I just has to show tomorrow what we can,
Perfect.
and for hopefully not regret anything tomorrow.
Yeah. Hopefully, I don't think we're gonna regret anything. But yeah, that's just play music, be happy.
That's 3 really good pieces of advice.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're here now. You've made it to Smukfest.
Yes.
You're playing at Live Camp tomorrow. At what time?
8 o'clock tomorrow.
8 o'clock tomorrow. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. And remember, if you're at Smukfest, come down to Kærligheden. Live Camp tomorrow, 8 o'clock. Gwænno's gonna be there, bringing bigger sound than they brought today. It's gonna be epic. Come by and enjoy it with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Endnu en gang tusind tak for opmærksomheden alle sammen. Det var Ung for evigt, vi hedder Gwænno.